There's no question about it. He is really one of the.
Alright, old school NBA fans, self-researched, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I want to give a special thanks to J. Picano 1983. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. Thank you very much for the very generous super thanks. It means a lot. And this video here is part 2 of my 2-video series of LeBron James being unbelievably all-time great against teams in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, but then being anything but that in the finals. Almost like a tale of 2 players. The craziest thing. Like I said in the first video, obviously they're going to point to competition as to why. But I got plenty of examples as to why that's not the full story. So the players post-merger who played all the rounds in the playoffs, like I said in the first video, the older players are just not going to translate very well because they didn't play a lot of first round matchups. But the players since the merger did. Even players like Bird and Magic, you have to take into consideration the first few years, they didn't play in the first round in a few of those seasons in the early 80s. But here we go, continuing on. Now, these are the big dogs here. Just to recap, LeBron James in the first round won 15 of his 18 series, good for 83.3% of the time. In the semifinals, he won 12 out of 15. That's good for 80%. In the conference finals, he won 10 out of 12 for 83.3%. That's very consistent in the first 3 rounds, no doubt. But then in the finals, 4 and 6 sitting at 40%. It drops in half. Well, how did the other all-time greats do? Tim Duncan was 15 and 3 in the first round in his whole career. That's the same as LeBron, 83.3. 9 and 6 in the semifinals. That's actually worse than LeBron, sitting at 12 and 3. So they both played 15 conference semifinal series. LeBron James won 12 of them. Duncan won 9 of them. In the conference finals, Duncan only ever made 9 of them, where LeBron made 12 of them. Duncan was 6 and 3 at .666, and LeBron 10 and 2 at .833. But then when you get to the finals, LeBron's sitting at 40%, and Tim Duncan is at 83.3. Consistent, the same exact percentage in the first round as he did in the finals. And this wasn't a guy that some years didn't have a good team, others years he did, like a Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant, like an Hakeem Olajuwon. No, he consistently had at least a 50-win team every single season. Hakeem Olajuwon is 7 and 7 in the first round, 500. In the semifinals, 4 and 3, a little better. In the conference finals, he sits at 3 and 1. So he's getting better as the series progress. And 2 and 1 in the finals. There's no drop off here. He's better in the conference finals and finals as he was in the first round and semifinals. And yeah, competition is a factor here, but it's not the whole story. Hakeem Olajuwon played 3 finals. He was favored in none of them. He was not the favorite in any of those finals. In each one, the other team was the favorite to win. In '94 against the Knicks, they did have a home court advantage, but I remember the Knicks were definitely the favorite. And it went 7. Larry Bird in the first round, 7 and 1. That's right in the ballpark of LeBron, a hair better actually. In the semifinals, 8 and 3. LeBron is better. In the conference finals, Bird is 5 and 3. LeBron's 10 and 2, better. In the finals though, Bird is 3 and 2. And he played against the Lakers 3 times. And then in the other 2 series, he played against the top 15 all-time player. Had a winning record though. Kobe Bryant in the first round was 13 and 2. That's a great record. 866. In the semifinals, 8 and 5, 613. In the conference finals, 7 and 1. That's .875. That's really good. All those are very comparable to LeBron. But in the finals, 5 and 2. Even if you take away from when he played on Shaq, he's 2 and 1. And in all 3 cases, he played the team that played against LeBron. Lost in 08, but then won in 09 and 10. LeBron lost to those teams in 09 and 10. So it's the same competition. Can't say better or worse. It was the same. Magic Johnson in the first round, 8-2, 80%. In the semifinals, 90.9. And in the conference finals, 90%. Obviously, he did great in all three rounds. And in the finals, it was a little bit of a drop-off. Not as steep and dramatic as LeBron, though. But here's the big difference. He had a winning record in the finals at 5-4. And one of those finals, he basically missed half the series in 89. But the teams he lost to, okay, the 83 76ers, one of the top 10 best teams of all time, easily. The 84 Boston Celtics, got to be one of the 15 best teams of all time. The 89 Detroit Pistons, another top 15 best teams of all time. And the 91 Bulls, probably also one of the 15 best teams of all time. So Magic was losing to all-time great teams, but he still had a winning record. And the teams he beat, the 1980 and 82 76ers, very good teams. The 85 and 87 Boston Celtics, and the 88 Detroit Pistons, not exactly pushover teams. All in all, Magic Johnson absolutely had tougher competition in the finals than LeBron James did. Now, you can say that Magic had a better team, and that may be true. But don't use Kareem as the reason why. That dude was on his last leg the last two seasons when he gravy trained 2 championships that he gets credit for as if he was the front and center best player on those teams. No, he was not. And that comes to Michael Jordan. In the first round, 10-3. That's .769. In the semifinals, Jordan's 8-2, 80%. In the conference finals, 6-2, 75%. Pretty consistent numbers right there. And then in the finals, got even better. 6-0, 1,000%. Those finals teams right there, every one of them were above average finals competition. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to rank all the runners-ups because I'm tired of hearing about it. And we'll see who's what. So if you combine all three of the first 3 rounds, and then that versus the finals, LeBron James was 37-8 in the first 3 rounds. 82.2%. That is unbelievably amazing. But in the finals, he drops more than in half, down to 40%. Tim Duncan, first 3 rounds, was 30-12, 71.4% of the time. In the finals, 5-1, that's 83.3. He got better. Olajuwon, 14-11 in the first 3 rounds at 56%. 2-1 in the finals, 66.6%. Larry Bird, 20-7, good for 74%. In the finals, a slight drop-off, but he's still at 60% with a winning record. Kobe Bryant, 28-8 in the first 3 rounds, 77.7%. In the finals, 5-2, 71.4%. Right in line. Magic Johnson, 27-4 in the first 3 rounds, 87%. Now, obviously, he's above LeBron even in the first 3 rounds. But in the finals, he didn't drop off half, 55.5%. And like I said, one of those finals you can hardly even hold against him because he only played in half of it. 55.5% in the finals for Magic, going 5-4, a winning record. Everybody else has a winning record. Michael Jordan, in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, 24-7. That comes to 77.4%. But in the finals, a perfect 6-0. Obviously, no drop-off. And no, he didn't lose in the years that he won championships, obviously. But he lost in 95 in the semifinals. He lost in 89 and 90 in the conference finals. He lost in 88 in the semifinals. But when he had a team good enough to do it, he never lost, period. That Bulls team of 1995, if the Magic didn't get him, the Pacers would have, or the Rockets would have. They were not going to win a championship. They did not have the size inside to deal with what was in front of them. Horace Grant and Shaq were just too much for Tony Kukoc and Luke Longley, and they had no one else really. I think Dickie Simpkins was the only other big player on their team. To all the LeBron fans out there who think that LeBron's finals competition was just otherworldly and he had no chance, what do you expect? Well, let me just ask you this question. In part one, I was talking about why on earth did LeBron James get mollywopped by the 2007 Spurs, but the 08 Celtics he took to 7 games? Is the 08 Celtics worse than the 07 Spurs? I've never heard that before. And that was a 45-win team in 2008 versus a 50-win team in 2007. That's one of the reasons why it doesn't wash for me. But also, what about 2011? In 2011, Boston had won the East 2 of the last 3 seasons, cheated out of a shot in 09 because Kevin Garnett got hurt, or I really know that they would have been the 3-time defending East champions. They might have even won the championship in 09. We'll never know. But they took Orlando 7 without Kevin Garnett. You know they would have won with him. And they had a winning record against the Lakers in the finals in 08 and 10 combined. But in 2011, Boston, in the regular season, the number 1 seed out west was San Antonio. Boston swept the season series. Against Miami, they were 3-1 in the regular season, and the other number 1 seed, the Bulls, they split with them. So they were 7-3 against the 2 number 1 seeds and the Miami Heat. 7-3 in the regular season. And that was back when load managing did not play a part. Miami gentlemen swept them in 5 games like it was no big deal. How about the Bulls in 2011? The Bulls split with Boston and San Antonio, okay? 3-3 against those 2 teams combined. They swept Dallas 2-0, and they swept Miami 3-0. So they were 5-0 against the 2 teams that made the finals in 2011. Miami went through them like hot butter. They gave up 1 loss in game 1 and then just whomped them 4 straight. It was over. No big deal. They even had a 2-1 lead against Dallas and then just fell apart. That's why I don't buy the competition angle. In 2014, Indiana was a 56-win team. They weren't a great team, but pretty good. Miami beat them in 6 games. And they were even 1-1 against San Antonio in the finals in 2014. And then again, lose 3 straight, just whomped out. There's kind of a pattern there, don't you think? In the 3 finals that LeBron lost, he lost at least 3 games in a row in all 3 between 07, 11, and 14. I'm just saying. But here's the guy right here who is the model of consistency. He had one of the most remarkable sequences you're ever going to see in the first round.
11 seconds to go. In the middle of the floor. Jordan has it. And Jordan puts up a jumper and hits with 6 seconds to go. Jordan hits the basket. 9 screens either by Nance or by Darty. D'Lo will inbound. He gets it into Nance, gets the ball back, drives to the hoop, and lays it in with 3 seconds to go against the New York Knicks. Sellers will inbound. Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago.
Or in the finals.
Chicago, because it allows Jordan to get some rest before he goes to the free throw line to try to knock down 2.
Find a way to be able to guard him without fouling him here.
He cuts it to 1. Jordan ties it. He throws. 50 seconds. Malone. Cross court, Stockton. A 3. It's there!
To the free throw line to give them 2 opportunities to 1.
Pippen into Jordan. Michael working on Russell. Brings them to within 1. Jordan with 43. Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Timeout, Utah. 5.2 seconds left. Michael Jordan running on fumes with 45 points. If they score, there's a game 7. If they don't, for the second straight year, they go out in 6. Stockton, Harper's on him. Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
He was a killer no matter what round it was. And that's the difference. And don't ever put this guy in some kind of a GOAT conversation again. Yeah, he may have had better competition in the finals than he did in the other rounds, sure. But he also had much better showings against some pretty good teams at times in the conference semifinals and finals that he wasn't able to do in the finals. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content. And that's it. Until next time.